Aries, welcome to your tarot reading. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. Either way, thank you so very much for being here and thank you for sharing your energy with me. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to pull a traditional Celtic cross spread. Whatever message comes out is the message that Spirit has for the collective at this time. I've set that intention with my guides and with this deck. So if you are here because this is in your feed, then this message is for you. And if you are here because of the title, then this message is definitely for you. So let's get into the tarot. I do have an oracle deck as well. I will pull from that at the end to get any additional messages from Spirit. Be sure and like the video, leave a comment if you feel called to do so, and definitely subscribe if you like the messages. All of the interactions do help my channel to grow, but it also pushes the videos out so that other people can view them as well. So I really appreciate you guys doing that for me. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Sun card, and the Sun is about growth, abundance. It is all things happiness, right? And it is like that inner child. I always see like the child on the Rider-Waite deck, but it's like just like this ultimate fulfillment, right? Happiness, joy, growth, and abundance in all aspects of life, and um, it's kind of like clarity and then having optimism for the future, right? And being able to overcome a period of sadness or maybe even illness. And then again with that inner child, it's about like healing the inner child work, doing some inner child healing, and then maybe finding some kind of new hobby or moving into like some kind of new beginning or new way of being, even a new way of thinking, with that optimism. I think of it like a big light bulb in the sky, right? It just kind of lights everything up. And then like the warmth of the sun just is like happiness and comfort, right? So the situation is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is about rest, it is about relaxation, and it is about pulling back to be by yourself, to kind of introspect, to kind of do some healing. You could be healing. That could be like, again, with the sun, the inner child healing. But it can also just be pulling back from others so that you can get a different perspective or kind of, look for answers or just kind of get your balance, right? I said balance, and then I looked, that was the card I was fixing, was the Two of Pentacles. So it's just kind of pulling back and being on your own, maybe getting some rest, doing some meditation, right? But the situation can just be like pulled back or things kind of at a pause, maybe a little stagnant right now, not moving forward. The blockage is the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is stability. It is, being able to handle things on your own. It's success and enjoyment. And for me, it's my card of being single and independent. Now, you can be independent within a relationship. So this is about like maybe you're not feeling very stable, or you're not feeling successful, right? Like this has something to do with your personal success, or you not feeling stable and grounded within yourself. Because it can be maybe overspending, or maybe that's like an inner child wound that you're trying to heal, is something with money and stability here. And it could have to do with maybe even overworking, because this person's like just, she's sitting here and she's resting and she's enjoying the fruits of her labor, right? That's what the Nine of Pentacles is about. You're enjoying all of your hard work now. Maybe you're needing to rest because you're working too much and you're feeling very overwhelmed in a situation. The root cause of this is the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords is a painful ending, right? This is manipulation. This is lies. This is deceit. This is some kind of like heartbreak that you've been through, right? Like a really rough cycle that you have been through. And now you're needing to rest and relax, right? Maybe you're just overworking and and you're needing to complete like this really painful cycle and move forward and kind of understand the past. Um, and just, realize that with every ending comes a new beginning, right? And then healing from that. And this could have to do with you again with being single. I don't know why I thought of that. Like maybe you are recently single because of a breakup or some kind of painful ending, and you're needing to kind of rest and relax and heal from this ending, right? And this can be in a relationship. This can be it could have to do with your stability. Maybe it's a loss of a job. It'll be different for each of you because it is a general reading, but you'll know what this painful cycle was that you are ending. But also with that ending comes a new beginning, right? Because with every ending, there is a new beginning. And the sun is here in the background of this card coming up between these swords, right? So, and you have the sun here. So it's like, the sun will come up tomorrow, but it's look for the light at the end of that tunnel, right? Because it's coming. So, what is affecting this situation in the recent past? We have the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles is about reciprocity, it is about equal give and take. Um, So there could have been a situation where you were giving too much of yourself, right? Again, whether this is a relationship or a work situation, I feel like there could have been an unequal balance, right? Like maybe you were putting in all the work and the other person wasn't. Maybe you were, working all these late hours, you're overworked and overburdened and you're tired and you're needing rest. So there was definitely not equal give and take in the past situation here, and that's what maybe what led to this painful ending. Maybe you were pouring all the energy in and then just decided to leave the situation, right? So the message from your higher self or your spirit guides is the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is about, again, overworking, juggling too much. It's needing to prioritize, again, with balance and stability. This has to do with your stability and balancing. So again, this could be a job, but this is the Two of Pentacles is like juggling, right? And needing to prioritize things, make a decision and prioritize what is most important. Like work life balance, right? If you're working too much, you're not enjoying your happiness with that sun card, right? That could be affecting your happiness because you're constantly at work or you're constantly pouring into other things rather than yourself, and it is taking all of your energy and your vitality and your happiness. In the immediate future, we have the Death card. So the Death card is ending and beginning. We were just talking about that with this Ten of Swords, right? There is an ending coming in the near future. And it's also about a transformation. So again, with this ending, there's going to be a new beginning, and maybe you're transforming the way you think about the stability, right? You're transforming the way you show up, and it's leading to like this release of the situation, the release of the burdens, and really healing from this. And again, accepting this lesson and then kind of moving forward from there. Just letting go of like old worn out patterns and behaviors, like the overwork, the burdening, the taking on too much. Because the Six of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles are about, again, the equal give and take, but you're taking on way too much and you're not prioritizing yourself, and there's a need to do that. So I feel like this is that release and the transforming of that thought process, and then creating space for the new beginnings that are trying to come in. Because you have to release this past and you have to release this behavior in order to move forward. There has to be a release and an ending, right? So in your thoughts and feelings, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is about planting a seed and then watching things come to fruition, right? You are patient and you're putting in the work, and then you are letting things grow. But it's also about looking at a situation and wondering if it is worth all of the effort, right? Is this worth your energy? You are, again, pouring all of your energy into this, and you're not getting, any fruit from it. It's not very fruitful. So I feel like you're probably feeling like maybe impatient because you have poured a lot of energy into this, and you can also be feeling like it's not worth it to you anymore. I just feel like you're maybe looking at the situation like, it's just not not worth the effort, or you're wondering if it's ever going to pay off for you. In the environment, the influence here is the Justice card. So justice is about truth. It is about balance, and it is also like that divine karma, right? Like what goes around comes around, but it's also about like restoring divine balance through upholding the truth, right? So maybe like telling yourself the truth, being honest with yourself about the situation. Um, and it's also about like that karmic balance, and it's reconciling with the past and then finding that balance and alignment and the harmony within, right? Like the ending a karmic contract of some sort. So this could have been like a karmic cycle for you, this overwork and this burdening, and it takes from your happiness, and you're now, deciding to release that and move forward. But nonetheless, this is, again, there's lots of balance here, because the Six of Pentacles is about balance, equal give and take. Two of Pentacles is about balance. I just feel like there is a need to balance, your thoughts, balance your masculine and feminine, and make sure that you are getting as much out of situations as you are pouring into them. And I feel like you really need to pour into yourself right now, because you're probably depleted. But there is balance and justice coming in here, right? So I feel like the divine is kind of coming in here and giving some justice. Your hopes and fears, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So you're very hopeful for a wish fulfillment. You really want something to come in here. That could be this current situation, or it could be, with this ending, you're hopeful for a new beginning, that sun, that vitality, that growth. I feel like you are really focused on a wish fulfillment coming in here, and you probably need that if you're feeling like exhausted and burdened. But you're really hoping for like emotional fulfillment for yourself. And excuse me, self-care is not selfish, right? Like you need to pour into yourself. So that could be like what you're hopeful for, right? Like just pouring into yourself. Maybe you're wanting to go to the beach. I don't know why that's standing out to me. Maybe you are in a position where you can take a small vacation, or you can just go to the beach for a day. Maybe you're within driving distance or something. But this is about filling your cup and doing something that you enjoy and making yourself happy here. The potential outcome, we have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords is clarity, discernment. She holds her boundaries. She has that sword up, so she's willing to cut things out that don't serve her, like overworking and burdening herself. She's very decisive and very, again, honest. Something about the truth, like being honest with yourself. Are you pouring into something that is not giving back to you, right? And being honest with this releasing and this ending, like accepting that this needed to end so that you could pour into yourself, because you can't keep pouring into an empty cup, right? Like you can't pour into others with an empty cup. So um I feel like with the Queen of Swords, it's very like speaking your truth and making decisions like from a balanced and fair standpoint, right? So you're probably getting clarity and then holding your boundaries here, right? Being very decisive, being maybe even speaking your truth in the situation, right? If this is overworking, maybe you're telling your boss, hey, look, I need a vacation, I'm working too much. Or if this is a relationship, just being honest and having that conversation like, look, I think I'm putting in all of this effort, right? So let's see, what do they not see coming, Spirit? What does Aries not see coming? Yeah, so we have the Eight of Swords, Four of Wands, and the Six of Swords. So I definitely feel like you're freeing yourself from this mental prison that you've been stuck in, right? This overthinking and like holding yourself back. The Eight of Swords is very much like limiting beliefs, thinking that you can't move on, or thinking that, things are never going to change. So this is kind of like freeing yourself from that mentality, that mental prison, and then moving on, like accepting the lesson and then transitioning and moving to calmer waters. And then you have the Four of Wands, which is about like joy and happiness and celebration, right? And I feel like this is really you kind of freeing yourself from the situation and then finding your joy and happiness and moving on, accepting this lesson and then transitioning, right? And really just kind of accepting everything that has gone down, everything that has happened. Doesn't mean that you're going to forget it, but it's just, that accepting it for what it is and then moving forward. And you could also literally be moving with that Six of Swords. That's my card of moving. So you could also like physically be moving. So what advice do you have for Aries Spirit? What advice do you have for them? So you have the Magician, the Tower, and the Three of Wands. Wow, that's like a clear message to me. Like the Magician is about taking decisive action, manifesting your reality. The Tower, stop holding on to things that don't serve you. Like embrace the change and let go of whatever the situation is. And then the Three of Wands is about growth and expansion and that foresight, like look to the future and really just grow from the situation. Again, accepting the lesson and moving on from it. But with the Magician, it's he's the master manifester. Like you have everything that you need to manifest the reality that you want, to really kind of embrace this wish fulfillment that you do want. You just need to stop holding on to things that don't serve you. Embrace the changes that are occurring, this ending that is taking place. And I know that that's hard to say, especially if it's, an ending of a relationship or a job you thought you were going to grow at, right? Like that's a difficult situation, but holding on to that is not going to help you grow and expand, right? And I feel like that's what Spirit really wants you to do. They really want you to just manifest the reality that you do want, let go of anything that isn't that, and then, grow from there and expand. Whether this is a job, relationship, whatever the situation is. Let's see. We're going to get you some oracle cards and kind of wrap this up. Okay, what other messages do you have for Aries Spirit? All right, so we have pause. You're being asked to pause before making a quick decision and moving forward. Allow yourself to step back, look at all the possible outcomes, and make sure you're heading in the right direction before moving forward. That's definitely what that Four of Swords is about, right? Like kind of pulling back from everything and going within and really kind of meditating and getting some rest, because rest and rejuvenation are going to help your mindset, right? Like it's going to help you think clear in order to move forward. You have difficult road, spirit of perseverance, being prepared for great things, walking the hard path in life. Definitely preparing you for something bigger, like some kind of growth here. Consider the options. You've narrowed your focus to one desired outcome, and you might be missing a bigger opportunity. Open up and let the universe send you the highest possible result. I love that. Obligation. Stop telling yourself you should when you cater to others or to unnecessary expectations of yourself. You stop your flow of abundance. Yes, this overworking, this overwhelm, this, burnout, and really needing to put an end to that and pour into yourself. Again, with the priorities and juggling too much, right? Don't take on too much here. Pour into yourself and, put an end to whatever the situation is, because it's not healthy for you. I just feel like this is a matter of like focusing on yourself more, pouring into yourself more, and moving on from a painful situation, whatever that is for you. So I hope that that message helped, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.